on KVR News, 131 years, the anniversary of UT holding its first class.
TGIF, student government pushes for fewer Friday classes.
And Charged Up, how students are using more energy-efficient means to power their electronics.
You're watching KVR News, Austin's leader for live local UT coverage.
Broadcasting live from the Texas Student Television Studios at the University of Texas. You're watching KVR News at 9, Austin's leader for live local UT coverage. Your news starts right now.
Good evening and welcome back to KVR News for this Monday, September 15th. I'm Leslie Adami.
And I'm Sandy Marin. ISIS, the jihadist terrorist group, has been a large topic of discussion in the United States for the past few weeks. The group has sent viral videos of the beheadings of American journalists James Foley and Stephen Sotloff. Most recently, they released a video of the beheading of a British aid worker, David Haynes. Earlier this week, President Obama addressed the group's threat to the United States. Today, Secretary of State John Kerry spoke at a Paris conference on the issue. He says American officials are prepared to discuss situations regarding ISIS in Iraq and Syria with Iran, as well as negotiate dealings with Iran's nuclear program.
White House officials say that Arab nations have offered to join the U.S. in airstrikes against ISIS, although no specific countries have been named. U.S. Central Command has carried out more than 150 airstrikes against ISIS targets in Iraq since early August. No word yet on when the U.S. and other countries plan to take action against the group.
Road construction has made it difficult to get to Austin's only Level 1 trauma emergency room. Lane closures will be in effect until early December due to construction and road work for the University of Texas new medical school being built on the north side of 15th Street right by I-35. And officials are saying that the closures will affect ambulance traffic as well as anyone's ability to get to the emergency room. However, patients can still access the ER from Red River Street. All hospital services will continue as normal throughout the construction. The meeting to legalize ride-sharing programs and Uber and Lyft will be set to a new date, September 25th. The meeting will be where Austin City Council will consider a measure that legalizes and regulates the company's operations. Councilman Chris Riley is one of the sponsors of legislation. In a press conference this morning, he said, quote, Uber and Lyft's current operations present both a concern and an opportunity. Austin should be leading the nation in embracing new transportation options. Instead, at this point, we're using scarce public safety resources to impound vehicles and take options away.
Now, Students for Texas Athletics and student government are working on creating an all-student tailgate right here on campus. Our Marysbel Cardozo has more on the story.
Many UT organizations have separate tailgates for their members, but that might all change. Students for Texas Athletics has joined forces with student government to create one unified student tailgate.
Ryan Shingledecker, who ran for student body president 2 years ago, he first came up with the idea. Ryan, and then someone named Meg Weiss, Matt Johnson, and I were the first members of Students for Texas Athletics in this new organization. We started an initiative-based campaign to where we wanted to get on-campus tailgating for students where everyone was together.
Student Government President Corey Rady thinks it's possible as long as they finalize the plan.
We're in the process, but again, this is something that lasts quite a while in terms of creating, and it's not the easiest thing to do, especially on a campus of this size. So making sure we're answering every question correctly is key.
Other spirit groups seem to like the idea. Hellraiser's president, Emil Zawatsky, is all for it.
The unified tailgate would be the perfect way to bring everyone together to, celebrate why we're here in the first place, and that's to cheer on our horns. We would welcome that 100%.
You have the Hook'em Horns, you have Burnt Orange, but you don't really have a game day experience that gets everyone in the same location. And so the idea behind student tailgating is that everyone would be able to come to this location, and whether you're in an organization, not in an organization, you'd be able to come and tailgate as a student. And so it really just brings everyone together.
Behind me is East Mall, one of the possible locations for the student tailgate. SG and Students for Texas Athletics hope to at least make a plan by the end of the year. Marysbel Cardozo, KVR News.
No Friday classes may soon be in your future. 3 student government representatives composed a resolution asking the university to create more upper division Monday-Wednesday courses versus Monday-Wednesday-Friday. The representatives say the resolution is being presented for academic purposes so that students can catch up on the week's work or go to internships. We went out to find out how students would feel about having a 4-day week.
Well, I think it's very important that upper division students get more time to really study, and I feel like less classes on Friday would actually give us more time to do that.
Well, I have 1 Friday class, and I think that I waste a lot of time for the rest of the day, so I think it'd be better for students to have Friday classes.
It's a very good idea because it'll allow us to have extra time to study and get assignments done.
I think it's just slightly inconsiderate because where some people don't like Friday classes, some people only do Friday classes, or even Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I just feel like that just shouldn't be a thing. They should leave it as it is.
I could use that time to focus on classes, catch up on work, reorganize my stuff. Also gives me more time to squeeze in a part-time job.
The proposition will be presented at the next SG meeting. If the proposal is approved, it will move on to be presented to the Faculty Council.
Texas basketball player Martez Walker was charged with assault with injury on Thursday. Walker's girlfriend told police he punched her 4 times in the side and dragged her out of his room in the San Jacinto dorms. She said the altercation happened when Walker got mad that she went to happy hour with a male friend, according to police. Walker's girlfriend said this isn't the first time he's done this. Texas basketball coach Rick Barnes has suspended Walker from the team indefinitely. UT President Bill Powers spoke about the incident, saying physical abuse and violence will not be tolerated at the University of Texas. We take this allegation extremely serious.
Hundreds of residents were forced out of their homes Sunday after 2 out-of-control wildfires swept parts of the Northern California, one burning nearly 24 structures, mostly homes, in its path. 6 firefighters suffered minor injuries, mostly from heat exhaustion, as the region baked in the triple-digit temperatures. The heat wave is still expected to go on through tomorrow. Still to come, the Texas interior.
And 2 become 1. Mexican-American and Latino Studies Department team up. You're watching KVR News. Welcome back to KVR. Today marks the 131st anniversary of the first class being taught at the University of Texas. On this day in 1883, 221 students started their first day of school. The university only had 8 faculty members. Today, more than 50,000 students attend UT, and there are more than 24,000 faculty and staff members. Tonight, the tower will light up orange in honor of the anniversary.
In an effort to be more energy efficient while giving students the juice their phones need to make it through the day, the university has teamed up with student organizations to find brighter solutions.
If you've been gone all summer break, you may have noticed something new standing across from DKR Stadium. In 2011, a group of students from the College of Natural Sciences proposed the idea to create hands-on solar applications on campus. Megan Archer, an environmental and biological sciences senior, was one of those students.
We see it, but maybe we can't use it, and we don't really know how it works. So the whole point of these solar stations was kind of to get people thinking about other ways to use it.
There are currently 2 stations on campus, one in front of the art building across from the stadium and the other in front of the PCL.
Conveniently located here on campus, these completely solar-powered energy stations provide quick and easy power for students and teachers on the go.
The Science Undergraduate Research Group teamed up with the university's Green Fee Committee and the company's Soul Design Lab to build these $6,000 structures. Through their solar-paneled roofs, they can power up to 6 cell phones and other electronics at any time of day.
It's a dual purpose. It's the application of the technology, the solar technology, but it's also a how do we use this space and how could we make this space more useful and interesting to us.
It really feels amazing to see our work completed. I know Several of our members were very instrumental in actually building the kiosks, and just when I see someone using it, it makes me feel really good inside, just because I know we're promoting solar energy.
Sept says they are working toward installing touchscreens as well as a third charging station in Central Campus. And in an age where everyone seems to rely so much on their technology, it appears these stations couldn't have come at a better time.
We're phone people now, so we do need this.
And to celebrate the installation of these charging stations, UT and Surge will host a launch party outside of the Art Building this Friday.
This Sunday, Pope Francis showed a major shift in the Catholic Church by presiding over the marriage of 20 unconventional couples. It was the first marriage ceremony of its kind in 14 years. The couples included a man whose marriage was annulled, a woman who had a child from a previous marriage, and several cohabiting couples. Pope Francis believes that families are the bricks that build society, traditional or not. Although the next general election is not until November 4th, you must be registered by October 6th in order to place your vote. Early voting will run from October 20th through the 31st. A photo ID is required for voting in person. Students will be able to vote right here on campus at the FAC. Now, Hispanic Heritage Month starts today, and UT is kicking off the celebration by starting the first ever academic department in the U.S. to focus on the Latino and Mexican American experience. The Department of Mexican American and Latino Studies will offer undergraduate degrees that take a comprehensive look at the lives, cultures, and histories of Mexican American and Latino populations. The new department will serve as the cornerstone of the three-part entity that will include the existing Center for Mexican American Studies and a planned Borderlands Research Institute that will support research and community-based data collections projects. All will be housed under the College of Liberal Arts. Some new faces decorate the UT Student Union building walls. Pictures in the historic building feature student activities and events around campus. The photos were collected from staff and students helping to modernize the Student Center. University Union's Director Mulu Getaferde say other updates to the building aim to reflect Longhorns on campus.
Our buildings, our photographs, our programs, and our services have to represent all of the diverse population of this campus.
Well, this weekend we got a break from this Texas heat and saw some cooler temperatures. Marysbel Cardozo is in the studio. What can we expect from the weather this week, Marysbel?
That's right, Leslie. We will see some more of those 90-degree temperatures, but I have good news. We will start to get a taste of fall with a cooler weekend. More on this after the break.
Have a news tip or story idea? Call the KVR News Tip Line, 475-8181.
Welcome back to KVR News. I'm Marysbel Cardozo. This weekend was definitely a change from the usual hot and sunny days we've been used to. We saw drizzle, showers, and even cooler temperatures thanks to the cold front. Saturday was actually a record low, only warming up to the mid-60s. If you enjoyed the switch up, get excited. It will most likely continue for the next few days thanks to Hurricane Odile that is just touching the west coast. Mostly cloudy overhead and warm today, but the rain will pick up starting tomorrow evening. You might need to bust out your rain boots for class tomorrow and Wednesday. Tuesday will have temperatures ranging from the low 90s to mid 70s with a 40% chance of rain. Not too much of a difference on Wednesday, where there is a high of about 91, a low of 74, and a 30% chance of rain. On Thursday, the rain will probably lighten up with a high near 92 and a low of about 72. Starting Friday, you might be able to swap your umbrellas for sunglasses. Mostly sunny with a high near 91 and a cool low around 73. Saturday and Sunday, both partly sunny with highs in the low 90s and lows in the mid-70s. And some showers at the start of the week with a mostly sunny finish. Live in the Weather Center, Marysbel Cardozo, KVR News.
All right, thanks, Marysbel. In today's sports, another loss for the Longhorns this weekend. A breakdown of Saturday's game against UCLA.
College Press Box's Jeff Barker will be in the studio to talk Longhorn sports after the break. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to KVR News. I'm College Press Box's Jeff Barker. The Texas football team took on UCLA this Saturday in Arlington. Texas kept it close, but UCLA's backup quarterback Jerry Neuheisel gave a whole new meaning to Jerry World. A fourth quarter comeback by the Bruins ruined the Longhorns' chance of an upset. Let's go out to AT&T Stadium and take a look at the highlights. You see Malcolm Brown right there rushing up the middle, shaking off some wimpy Bruin tacklers right there. Mid-second quarter here, tied up at 3, 4th and 8. Charlie Strong decides to go for it on the UCLA 38, swoops, rolls out right, hits John Harris on a beautiful completion for 33 yards. 1st and goal, Texas. 3 plays later now, still tied at 3. Tyrone Swoops hits MJ McFarland for the touchdown. Good to see him back in the mix. Texas up 10-3. Right here you see strength and conditioning coach Pat Moore chatting game plan with head coach Charlie Strong to take their 10-3 lead into the half. Here's backup quarterback Jerry Neuheisel, the hero in this game. Rolls right here on 3rd and goal, hits Nate Iessa for the touchdown, ties the game up at 10. And here's where things got interesting. Mid-4th quarter, UCLA up 13-10. Swoops hands off to Jonathan Gray. Gray rushes up the UCLA sideline 31 yards to the UCLA 10 for a touchdown. 1st and goal, Texas. 2 plays later right here, Tyrone Swoops drops back, hits John Harris for an 8-yard touchdown pass. Texas up 17-13. John Harris pumped up. Longhorn fans are going crazy at Jerry World. Harris runs all the way over to the other sideline to see our cameraman show him the gun show right here. And here's where it went downhill for the Longhorns, though. Under 4 minutes left to play, Texas punts to number 1, Ishmael Adams, 45 yards to the UT 33. And the dagger right here, folks. 3:06 remaining in the 4th quarter. Jerry Neuheisel drops back, gets Duke Thomas to bite on the pump fake, hits Jordan Payton 33 yards for the touchdown. Texas would go on to lose 20-17 to UCLA, and you can see the disappointment on the face of head coach Charlie Strong and the Texas players right there. Heartbreaker.
Now, Jeff, the team won't be having a game this weekend, I understand. What do you think they can improve on during this bye weekend?
All right, I got 2 things for them to work on right here. First of all, on defense, I think they need to work on just sticking to fundamentals. You saw them miss a lot of tackles, kind of revert at some points back to their form against BYU and even their form last season with Mac Brown as head coach. So they need to stay disciplined on defense, stick to their assignments. And then on offense, I think the biggest thing is just opening up the playbook for Tyrone Swoops. It's time to just unleash him. What else do they really have to lose? 1-2 at this point. In a couple weeks, after the tough games against Baylor and Oklahoma in 3 and 4 weeks, they could be 2-4. So why not unleash him right now, open up the playbook to him, and score some points and win some games?
Absolutely. All right, thanks, Jeff. Make sure to stay tuned for more KVR News.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
Welcome back to KVR News. Lauren Morelli is one of the lead writers for the hit Netflix series Orange is the New Black. The show centers around the life of on-again, off-again lesbian Piper Chapman. Since writing for the show, Morelli has realized that she is in fact a lesbian. She is now divorcing her husband of 2 years to date a female cast member from the show. Actress Samira Wiley, known on the show as Pooh Say, is now dating Morelli. Last Thursday, Django Unchained actress Danielle Watts was detained on account of indecent exposure. Watts engaged in PDA with her husband, Brian James Lucas, and was soon after accosted by 2 police officers. The officers were responding to a radio call of indecent exposure, and Watts and her husband matched the description. Watts was eventually let go, but took to Facebook to post about the incident. Husband James Lucas says he believes the officers thought she was a prostitute. Kanye West is making headlines once again due to a recent incident in Australia. He is being accused of shaming a man in a wheelchair. Mr. West stopped his concert in Sydney and demanded every member of the audience to get up and dance. He refused to continue performing until he saw everyone standing up. Kanye West then pointed out to 2 members who were still seated. The 2 concertgoers are handicapped and unable to stand and dance. It wasn't until one fan waved her prosthetic limb in the air that Kanye finally backed down and said they were fine. He then continued on with that show. That's all for tonight's entertainment news. Back to you.
Thanks, Marievel, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Leslie Adami.
And I'm Sandy Marin. For news and weather updates throughout the week, you can follow us on our Twitter at KVR News.
Stay tuned for College Press Box up next on Texas Student Television. Have a great night.